Stop everything you're doing right now, because an 18-year-old kid from Brazil just did something that not even Lionel Messi managed at his age, and if you're not paying attention, you're missing the birth of Chelsea's next superstar. Wednesday night in Baku, Azerbaijan. Most people didn't even know where that is on a map, but ESTêVão Willian, he just made it a place Chelsea fans will never forget again. Let me set the scene for you. Chelsea are playing Qarabağ in the Champions League, 5,000 miles from home, at some random stadium most fans had never heard of. The match is only 16 minutes old when Andre Santos slips a pass through to ESTêVão on the right wing. The 18-year-old cuts inside, shifts the ball onto his left foot, and hits a low drive from 12 yards that beats the keeper at his near post even as he falls to the ground. Goal. Chelsea 1-0 up. Sounds like a nice goal, right? Just another strike in a Champions League match? Wrong. Dead wrong. That goal made ESTêVão the first and only South American player to score in consecutive Champions League appearances while aged 18 or younger. Read that again. The only one. Lionel Messi didn't do it at 18. The Argentine's first consecutive Champions League goals came when he was already 20 years old. Neymar didn't do it. Vinicius Jr. didn't do it. Nobody from South America has ever done what this kid is doing right now. And here's the kicker that'll blow your mind. That goal made him Chelsea's joint top scorer this season with 4 goals. 4 goals! In a team that spent over $1.5 billion on players in the last 3 years. In a squad packed with international superstars and experienced forwards. An 18-year-old Brazilian kid who isn't even a guaranteed starter is leading the scoring carts at Chelsea Football Club. Let that sink in for a minute. The numbers don't lie. You know who he's level with on 4 goals? Moises Caicedo, the defensive midfielder who's been having the season of his life with 4 goals and an assist in 14 games. That's right, Chelsea's top scorers this season are a defensive midfielder and a teenage winger who's barely played half the minutes of most starters. If that doesn't tell you something special is happening here, I don't know what will. Let's break down exactly what ESTêVão has done since arriving at Stamford Bridge in July. He made his debut against Crystal Palace on August 17, coming on as a substitute. 5 days later, he got his first start against West Ham and immediately provided an assist for Enzo Fernandez in a 5-1 demolition. Nice start, but nothing crazy yet. Then came October 4th, Liverpool, away, the reigning champions. In the 95th minute, with the score tied 1-1, ESTêVão produced a composed finish at the back post, turning in Marc Cucurella's cross after beautiful interplay with Enzo Fernandez. The Athletic called it a stunning late winner that condemned Liverpool to a 3rd straight defeat. His first Chelsea goal, against the champions, in stoppage time. Ice cold. But he wasn't done making history. On October 22nd, he scored his first Champions League goal from a penalty against Ajax in a 5-1 victory, becoming Chelsea's youngest ever Champions League goal scorer at age 18 years, 181 days. Another record broken. And then Wednesday night in Baku happened. Back-to-back Champions League goals. South American history made. More records tumbling. 4 goals in all competitions? The pattern here, every single one of them has been massive. Winner against Liverpool, history-making penalty against Ajax, another historic strike against Qarabağ. This isn't some kid padding his stats against lower league opposition in cup competitions. These are big goals in big moments against quality opposition. The performance that tells the real story. But forget the goals for a second. Let's talk about how he's actually playing, because that's where things get properly scary. Against Qarabağ, ESTêVão was Chelsea's standout performer with an 8.5. The highest on the pitch. He recorded 56 touches, had 8 touches in the opposition box, most of any player, won 8 duels, joint most, completed 3 take-ons, most, and created 3 chances, most. He was named man of the match with a match rating of 7.7. Those aren't just good numbers for an 18-year-old. Those are elite numbers for any player at any age in the Champions League. Former Premier League midfielder Leon Osman, commentating on the match for BBC, was blown away. Once ESTêVão took a touch, 2 Qarabağ players went over to him, but he took a touch, chopped with his left, and then whipped it hard and low. This young man has got talent. In these situations, he often gives you an end product. End product. That's the key phrase right there. It's one thing to be skillful and exciting. It's another entirely different thing to consistently deliver goals and assists when it matters. And ESTÉVÃO? He's doing both. In the frantic final 20 minutes against Karabakh, he changed his game up, not always cutting in off the right, but sometimes tearing away to the byline to cross. One sublime piece of skill saw him receive the ball out wide, allow it to run through his legs, and then collect it the other side, his narker suitably bow-foldered. The football intelligence, the adaptability, the composure, it's all there.
The Pedro Neto problem. Now, here's where things get interesting, and honestly, a bit frustrating for Chelsea fans who can see what's happening. ESTÉVÃO is the third youngest player in Champions League history to score in each of his first 2 starts in the tournament, behind only Ethan Nwaneri and Kylian Mbappé. He's joint top scorer at the club. He's breaking records left and right. He's man of the match in big European games. And yet, Enzo Maresca still prefers starting Pedro Neto on the right wing. Don't get me wrong, Neto's a quality player, an experienced international who cost £54 million from Wolves. But here's the thing, ESTÉVÃO is producing more with less. He's coming off the bench or getting rotational starts and still managing to outscore almost everyone in the squad. What happens when he actually becomes the main starter? When he's playing 90 minutes week in, week out? The potential is absolutely frightening. Moises Caicedo, after ESTÉVãO's winner against Liverpool, couldn't stop praising his young teammate. It was a great feeling when ESTÉVãO scored. He is doing a great job here, and we are so happy to have him here. You can see on the pitch he is so good. It's the same in training. He is showing his quality. We try to help him because the Premier League is so difficult. He is having an impact. Having an impact is an understatement. The kid's joint top scorer, and he's not even a regular starter yet. The rapid improvement nobody's talking about. Here's what should really terrify the rest of the Premier League. ESTÉVãO is improving at a ridiculous rate. Last season with Palmeiras in Brazil, he scored 12 goals and provided 5 assists in 37 matches. Decent numbers, but nothing extraordinary. That's roughly 1 goal contribution every 2.5 games. This season at Chelsea, he's already got 4 goals and 2 assists. That's 6 goal contributions in limited appearances, most of them off the bench or in rotational starts. The rate of improvement is insane. And this is in a much tougher league, against better defenders, in a more physical environment. The scary part? He's still adapting. Despite his impressive stats standing at 1 goal and 1 assist in 9 Premier League appearances, his impact goes far beyond the numbers. The movement off the ball, the way he finds space, the intelligence of his runs. Tactical analysts are amazed by his very mature understanding of space and movement on the pitch. One analyst on the Up Front podcast called ESTÉVãO's magic move into space, calling him the Samba spaceman for his ability to move the opposite way to where the play goes and still get the ball. To have that ability to find space at that age, that's amazing. That movement is what led to his winner against Liverpool, appearing from nowhere at the far post while Andy Robertson was checking the other side. You can't really teach that. Either you have that sixth sense for finding pockets of space, or you don't. ESTÉVãO's got it in spades, and he's only going to get better as he gains more experience in English football. The manager knows what he's got. Enzo Maresca isn't stupid. He knows exactly what he has in ESTÉVãO. After the Ajax match where the teenager scored his penalty, Maresca was glowing in his praise, and his comments should make every Chelsea fan excited about the future. With young players, most of the time you're worried. They play 1 or 2 games, score, and suddenly think they're top players. But with ESTÉVãO, there's no need for concern. The manager praised his humility and the support of his family that keeps him grounded. Then came the kicker. I feel very lucky to be his manager. The fans pay to see players like Cole Palmer and ESTÉVãO. That's massive. Putting an 18-year-old kid in the same sentence as Cole Palmer, who's currently one of the best players in the Premier League and carrying Chelsea when he's fit. The manager clearly rates him. The stats back it up. The eye test confirms it. So why isn't he starting every week yet? It's probably about managing his development, protecting him from burnout, letting him adapt gradually to the physical demands of the Premier League. Fair enough. But surely, after what we've seen in the last month, it's time to unleash him properly. Time to let him fly. Look, I get it. Maresca wants to be careful with his young star. The kid's only 18, he's adapting to a new country, a new league, the physicality of English football. You don't want to throw him in too early and risk breaking his confidence or overloading him physically. But mate, at what point do we acknowledge that he's ready? He's scoring in the Champions League. He's getting winners against Liverpool. He's Chelsea's top scorer. He's breaking records that Messi didn't break. What more does he need to do to earn that starting spot? Pedro Neto is quality, no question. But right now, in this moment, ESTÉVÃO is simply producing more. The numbers don't lie. The performances speak for themselves. And Chelsea are in a position where they need all the firepower they can get, especially with Cole Palmer missing games through injury. The right wing is crying out for someone to make it their own, someone who can provide that consistent goal threat, that creativity, that spark of magic that can unlock tight defenses. ESTÉVÃO has shown he can do all of that. It's time to give him a proper run of starts and see what he can really do. Because here's the truth that's starting to become unavoidable. We might be watching the early stages of a genuine world-class talent. He's been compared to both Lionel Messi and Neymar, originally using the nickname Messinho as an homage to Messi due to similarities in their playing styles. He's been praised for his maturity, his reading of the game, and his decision-making, which are all considered precocious for his age. Brazil has produced a wave of precocious talents in recent years, including Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, and Endrick, and ESTÉVÃO looks poised to follow in their footsteps. His natural flair and fearless playing style at such a young age evoke memories of some of the country's all-time greats. Wednesday night in Baku wasn't just another Champions League match. It was another statement. Another record broken, another piece of history written by an 18-year-old kid who seems completely unbothered by the pressure, the expectations, or the magnitude of the moments he finds himself in. 4 goals in all competitions, joint top scorer at Chelsea alongside Moises Caicedo, the only South American to score in consecutive Champions League matches at 18 or older, something Messi never did. Chelsea's youngest ever Champions League scorer, history made against Liverpool, man-of-the-match performances on the biggest stages. And the scary thing? He's only just getting started. Every time he steps on the pitch, he looks more confident, more assured, more dangerous. The adaptation period is over. The settling in phase has passed. Now we're watching a player who belongs at this level, who thrives under pressure, and delivers when it matters most. So yeah, you'll never look at ESTÉVÃO Willian the same way again after seeing what he's done these past few weeks. Because this isn't just another talented youngster with potential. This is a genuine superstar in the making, announcing himself on the biggest stages in world football at just 18 years old. Enzo Maresca said it himself. Fans pay to see players like Cole Palmer and ESTÉVÃO. Well, it's time to give the people what they're paying for. It's time to unleash this kid properly and let him show the Premier League what all the fuss is about. Chelsea's top scorer at 18, breaking records that Messi couldn't break, making history in the Champions League, and he's not even a regular starter yet. Just imagine what happens when he is. 4 goals, 2 assists, countless records broken, one undeniable truth. ESTÉVÃO Willian is the real deal, and Chelsea have struck absolute gold.